We are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym in the Crypto episode 1024. Today is Tuesday, November 29th, 2022, and I'm King here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today is definitely a 10ish day. I accidentally pump faked everyone at first. My sound wasn't working, so I had to restart that and some other technical issues. It always happens every so often. But today's top stories: BlockFi bankruptcy filing triggers a wide range of community reactions. BlockFi sues FTX Bankman Fried over shares in Robinhood. Silvergate denies recent FUD, confirms minimal exposure to BlockFi. Compound Finance to impose lending caps in light of failed Aave exploit. Meta fined 265 million euros for allowing scrapers to steal Facebook's centralized user data. And jokes about wrapped Ethereum DepEg caused brief panic on Twitter. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and check out these prices. Make sure I'm sharing this. Boom. Got to turn it on. You got to do so much extra stuff here. Bitcoin's coming in hot today. That is right. Bitcoin's coming in hot at $16,383. Up 1.1%. Ethereum is at $1,207, up 3.53%. BNB at number 4 at $299, up 1.69%. Number 7 is XRP, holding strong at 39 cents, up 2.67%. Number 9 is Cardano, some of you all's favorite, at 30 cents, up 1.12%. And Polygon Matic, number 10 spot, up 1.61%. A tame day for what we usually see in cryptocurrency. Trending right now is Pancake Swap. Interesting. I'm not sure why it's trending, but again, if you are in the classes, I'm going to promote them, our coaching classes, as well as the master class. We actually just covered some things on DeFi this past Sunday, and we talked about Pancake Swap for a moment, just to look at some different things that are going on there. So it looks like they're trending today. Bitcoin, wow, Bitcoin is trending. Uh-oh, hold on, people. I can't believe it. This is madness, people. Bitcoin is trending today. What could make Bitcoin trend? Who knows, right? It can't be the technology, that's for sure, because no one seems to care about that. Let's see. And then Solana is also trending as well. It's been trending, of course, in this whole FTX saga. Recently added is Nusa at $16 a coin. I have no clue who that is. Marble Pre. It looks like that's worth some Satoshis. And Central Fi, another project that's worth less than a penny. So that's the interesting thing going on in prices today. All right, want to go ahead and say a quick shout out to the chat. What is going on, everybody? BK Crypto, what's up? Wendy Nichols, Captain G, Jump Out Girls in the house. There we go. Junior Maley, Antonio. And shout out to Antonio. This is his gear right here, this BTC gear. Listen, it's been a long time since I've been in those Michigan winters. I try to go few and far between, even though I have to go for the holidays. So I ended up there. But right now, LA is making me feel reminiscent of Michigan. Okay, it's probably Michigan's highs, but it is our lows right now, and I don't want no part of it. It is cold, but this hoodie from Antonio keeps me warm with this BTC all over it. So what's going on, Antonio? He's in the chat right now. Chloe Dior, Eric, who else we have? Chris Minka, BK Born, Best Style, Rays, Woe Be Easy, Carson, Hassan, and Cario 5252 Crypto. Good morning, everybody. Smash that like and share. Let's get it started. All right. BlockFi has went bankrupt. That is right. Ooh, we got to revamp the whole lending section of the masterclass. I will probably leave it in there and just put a precursor in there to say lending's not going, it'll be back. And this is how the platforms will work. In the masterclass, again, got to go to it because at this point, we don't need to point to other people's research and stuff. We go to our own, right? We talked about this when we talk about the lending platforms. We covered BlockFi, Celsius, and Nexo. One of the things we said was, hey, don't keep all your money on this stuff because these are centralized. You can't count on them. It's just another way to diversify. And wouldn't you know it, BlockFi is next up. Actually, Coinbase should be thanking the government right now. If it were not for the government, Coinbase would have started its lending program as well. And can you all if the SEC did not stop Coinbase from starting his lending program, they would have been in this mix as well. This whole we would have saw a $2,000 Bitcoin, okay? Like overnight. All right, but let's get to it. BlockFi has officially filed for bankruptcy, triggering a wide range of community reactions. Some pointed their fingers at podcaster Anthony Pompliano for promoting the crypto lending platform quite recently. Wow, that's in the story. This is the thing about the media, folks. You love them or hate them. That's the whole thing. Where they say they build you up to be a hero just to tear you down into the villain type of deal. You see this oftentimes in sports and stuff, where a lot of seasoned athletes or people who are seasoned to the media already know, like, all right, take it with a grain of salt how they're gonna come at you, because the moment this is on, like, it's bad news, it's still news, and they're gonna cover it just as as prominently as they did otherwise. So it's interesting to see that he's actually being stated at the top of this. Wow, I mean, this is huge. But he did, I guess, promote BlockFi from what they're saying. As crypto lending platform BlockFi filed for bankruptcy, members of the crypto community reacted with mixed feedback as another platform fell during the current bear market. Despite BlockFi citing the FTX contagion as the reason for his bankruptcy filing, podcaster Matt Odell pointed out a different explanation. He wrote the lending platform went bankrupt because it was lending customer funds to high risk traders who played with leverage recklessly. I mean, again, I have to refer back to it last week on Wednesday in our trading class when we were just covering the basics. This is where we were talking about margin trading, leverage trading. Like, while it can make you money, it can lose you money, and it oftentimes wipe people out of the market and companies. This is to tell as though as Bitcoin, leverage kills, and trusted third parties are security holes, he added. Really quick, one thing I want to say that I'm seeing being thrown in the mix. I understand we're not a huge channel, nor have we ever really tried to be, so maybe that's our own doing or whatever. We are changing that this year. We're about to start running aggressive ads. But it's interesting that the rhetoric out here has been like no one knew. Like no one knew. Like I saw Spencer. You can't blame YouTubers and all this other stuff and financial gurus. They didn't know. We didn't know. I mean, hell, the banks didn't know. The SEC didn't know. Stop it. That narrative is about to die now. Like I am going every time I get around to someone. So how could we have known? I'm just going to start shooting off names of people in the community who did know. The most obvious things. Where did he come from? I'm not understanding why this is going over so many people's head, but I'm going to put it very simple. Is this simple? I don't care who you are or what your accomplishments are or how much money you have. If you come into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, you will be a noob. It doesn't matter how much professionalism you had over how much money you made, your reputation. It does not matter. This is an entirely new industry, a new sector. And unless you know cryptography already, which is a very small amount of the human population, you are starting from ground one. So, how did people already know in this space? Because he is a brand new person doing shit that's pretty obvious, like doing leverage plays and stuff. It's not anything new. It's not that exciting. He just happened to have way more money to do it and while his timing was right, because he really came into play toward the happening, his timing was right, so it made that these moves look genius. What happens when the bear market hits? So it's crazy that this rhetoric is out there, this narrative is out there. Like no one knew. There was no way to know and stuff. It's like people, a ton of people knew. A ton of people knew. The SEC actually knew. That's why they told Coinbase, you can't do it. Like, stop it. The SEC did know. That's if the SEC didn't know, they wouldn't allow a private company, FTX, to do it and a public company not to do it. No, they told Coinbase not to do it because they already knew, hey, when this thing go down, we cannot have a public company facing the same type of publicity as these private companies are right now. Because at the end of the day, these still are private companies, right? Based in the Bahamas, here, there, wherever. But they did know. So again, I just want to kill this narrative because it's crazy that people keep saying like, oh, we don't know what happened with this stuff. It looks like in a tweet, Mario Nawfal highlighted that BlockFi's bankruptcy filing was something that many members of the community anticipated. Thank you. And again, as I reiterate, it is rare, including today, I don't really read the article. I literally look at the headlines and make sure it's something newsworthy that we can cover and analyze live. That's what we do. And I didn't even see this paragraph here. And that's my point. For people in this space, people kind of saw a lot of these things happen. According to Nallfall, the bankruptcy filing marks the end of an era for the lending and yield earning platform that was able to barely hang on after the Voyager and Celsius debacles. Um, so, I guess I got to include this. With many losing funds during the process, some pointed their pitchforks to entrepreneur and podcaster Anthony Pompliano, who introduced them to the lending platform. A Twitter user claimed that they lost most of their savings after listening to Pompliano's podcast that recommended BlockFi. Now, here is where I'm going to be super fair at, right? And you've heard my comments on people like Pomp before. As I just mentioned, SBF and FTX and Alameda. I mean, the girl, Caroline, she even openly said she didn't know what she was doing. So this is not me being a hater or talking smack. This is just being facts. I don't blame Pomp at all. Again, my stance on Pomp is changing now because he's putting the time and the work in. But early on, it was who the fuck are you and where did you come from? Same as it was for SBF, the same as it was for Novogratz, the same as it was for Mr. Wonderful, and a few of these other people who, yes, I know who you are in your previous and whatever you've done, but to come into this space with the platforms you have and to speak as though you really know what you're talking about, that was a ballsy move. I don't think you all understood. It took a while to get Bitcoin Zay to start speaking publicly, folks. And I already knew he knew way more than a lot of people. This is in 2016. It took a lot to really get him on the YouTube and all that stuff. And I knew he knew a lot. This was in 2016. So you have to excuse me for when I see new people coming in from 2019, 2020, 2021, or coming in only at the high volume times when we're at a peak market. You have to excuse me for being a little bit skeptical as far as their knowledge goes in this actual space. So no, I don't blame Pomp. I don't think this was his fault. BlockFi was working while I was working. No one told anyone to get greedy and put your entire portfolio. Again, we cover in the masterclass, primarily because the reason why we cover a lot of these different things is because you all asked for it. So we cover it and we say, yes, if you want to diversify, cool. Should you be putting a large portion of your portfolio in this thing and ignoring it? No. And you definitely shouldn't. So I'm not sure how he promoted it, how Pomp promoted it, but I definitely don't blame him because as the end user, the investor, the stakeholder, wherever you want to call it, the person who has control of their own funds, you should have did better research and realized that you were listening to a person who had literally been in crypto the same amount of time as you. So I don't blame him. But yeah, this is messed up. A single book, podcast, or conversation can change your life. So true. For example, I lost most of my savings after listening to your podcast and putting it into BlockFi. Completely changed my life. That is actually hilarious. But again, I don't blame Pomp. I don't think you can blame him because he was a new person who had a platform and he got some ads going. You can't be mad at that. That's good American business. You kind of got to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, why did I put most of my savings into something that someone who's new into this space, is telling me about? I think that might be the real question you might want to look at. Let's see. Another community member also claimed that they diversify their portfolio. Here, let me bring this up one last time. Beat this horse dead one last time before we move on from BlockFi. Listen, the same way we parade these companies around on the news and on Cointelegraph and on all the CNBCs, and they get to sit at all the panels. Oh, we're going to do a 20-minute walk of shame. You better be like, we're going to do the 20-minute walk of shame for sure. But another community member claimed that they diversified the portfolio by putting some funds in FTX, BlockFi, and Bitcoin, which Pomp recommended. They noted that 2 of the 3 have already gone to zero. Again, I don't blame Pomp, but this is no, this is bad diversification advice. And again, we're on record in a masterclass with our advice. So from a year ago at this point, no. And again, I don't blame him. He's new. SBF was new. Like all these people are new. I don't blame them for being great business people and being able to get funding to live their dream or do whatever they want. All the people who are giving them the money or are following their advice, though, like you kind of got to look in the mirror. Again, yeah, FTX, BlockFi. I mean, two of these are centralized, so I definitely wouldn't even. I wouldn't say that for any. I wouldn't. Uh, if you're going to diversify and put your money in a portfolio, and you're going to look at FTXs and BlockFis and stuff like that, then you might as well like seriously just keep it in the bank as well. And again, for me, I don't really advocate for even using banks at this point. So yeah, I wouldn't have said that. Shapeshift founder Eric Voorhees, okay, true OG in the game. Let's see what Eric Voorhees has to say. Also reacted to information coming out that the Securities and Exchange Commission is one of the creditors for BlockFi. Woo-hoo-hoo. Voorhees floated the idea of the SEC returning $70 million that they took from BlockFi in order to help the users that they should be protecting. Wow. I did not know that. If that is true, that is crazy. That is crazy. And then again, I got to cover this real quick. BlockFi has now also filed a lawsuit against FTX. Here's my thoughts on this whole lawsuit thing. But BlockFi is demanding Bankman-Fried's investment company turn over its shares in Robinhood as collateral it agreed to pay as part of a pledge agreement. That's right here. Let me see if I can bring this article up quickly. Again, we'll do this quick walk of shame for them. And then I'll go to the chat, the comments, see what you all have to say about this as well. But yeah, let's check this out. Again, newly bankrupt crypto lending platform. They didn't waste no time. BlockFi has filed a lawsuit against Sam Bankman-Fried's holding company, Emergent Fidelity Technologies, seeking his shares in Robinhood that were pledged as collateral earlier in November. The suit was filed on November 28th in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of New Jersey, just hours after BlockFi filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the same court. Hey, Nino Brown, listen. Ooh, hey, this should go way deeper than me. Hey, this go over there. Yeah, he the one who started it all. Listen, Nino Brown. I know I got some of those lines messed up. It's been a while, but you get the picture. Pointing fingers, everybody's going down, and we owe money. A lot of people gonna owe us money as well. BlockFi said one of our catchphrases, and of course, that is
"We're not gonna take it."
Hey, some people coming with us. It looks like per the filing, BlockFi is demanding Emergent turnover collateral as part of the November 9th pledge agreement that saw Emergent agree to a payment schedule with BlockFi that has allegedly failed to pay. BlockFi names the collateral as including certain shares of common stock. It looks like SBF acquired a 7.6% stake in the online brokerage firm Robinhood, buying a total of $648 million worth in Robinhood shares through his Emergent investment company. BlockFi is now saying we want our piece of that is owed as well. So my point of this wasn't really to talk more BlockFi and suing FTX and all that. It was more about how this affects us, the end users, right? The market. This is going to usher in regulations, not necessarily because of regulators itself, but because of the markets that's being created. Now you're getting lawyers involved, right? Now you're actually about to get professionals involved, and that looks like where the market's about to head to, where it's literally going to be flooded with lawyers. Once the lawyers come, accountants have to come. Like so much more stuff is going to come with that. And through those processes and through those licensing and things that they already have, I think we'll start to see regulation form around that. And that might actually be okay for these centralized things. Again, I'm really for self-regulation. I know everything sucks, but here's the deal. Self-regulation, BlockFi, you lost out on your money. You don't have any more. FTX doesn't have any more money. Like it's gone. As most as you can do, as the most you can do is go after the assets, right? Like you said, if they do have the shares in Robinhood or real estate, I guess SBS mom brought $121 million in real estate or something allegedly. I don't know. But I think that's what's about to start happening. It's like because of the legalities of things that are about to happen, people want their money back. Nobody wants to take that loss. Listen, here it is. Nobody wants to take that L. That's going to drive regulation to the market. So what will be interesting, it'll be interesting to see if they're actually going to regulate crypto and Bitcoin and all that per se, or will it just be some of the markets around it? For example, exchanges, what would happen if you go bankrupt? What are the legal proceedings? Like, I can see regulation forming around that and making sense right now. But that was the first comment I was making. The second thing I was going to also state, as far as the comment, the Twitter user, whoever that guy was, saying this might be the end of lending and whatever as we know it. No, people, it's not. It's just the beginning. Um, and this is, I wouldn't even say, maybe this might be the bubble of lending popping, right? And if it does pop, like I said, things won't disappear; they'll just consolidate. I was just at the blockchain summit, was it or whatever, the blockchain summit conference, wherever it was in LA. That was majority of the companies. It was lending, DeFi lending, this lending, that lending. I think as many are that are about to go down, we're going to see just as many pop up right now. Like, it's a reason why SBF, guy who was 29, 28 at the time when he first got it, 27 years old, was able to get billions of dollars to do this. If he was able to get billions, you better believe there are smaller companies out there that can get 20 million to do it, 30 million, 10 million. They were at these conferences and summits. So I don't think this is the end. I think it's going to consolidate. I think it's going to mature. It will be more regulations in this environment. We probably already saw that coming again when the SEC told Coinbase no. If they're going to tell them, like, if they're going to directly tell them no, then that means they're going to actually have written regulation coming with that eventually. So I think this, we'll just see the lending market mature at this point. It looks like it's going to try to be intertwined with banks. But what's more interesting is how this will affect the DeFi sector, which we're actually about to cover now as well. But before we do, let me go to the comments real quick. Let me go to the chat. I see the chat has been super lit. Make sure you smash that like and share. And of course, if you're still interested, coaching.thegentlemanthecrypto.com or thegentlemanthecrypto.com, and check out that coaching and masterclass where we go over all of this type of stuff I can't talk today for nothing, and I don't have any water near me. I left my water on the counter in detail, and you can ask questions. All right, with all that being said, let's check out the chat, see what's going on. It is super lit today. I love seeing it. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, smash that like. We're less than 50%. Do we got to go back? I know how to catch my breath. Here we go. Smash those likes. I don't got Bitcoin Zay here to sing, but you can smash those likes, get those likes up. There we go. There we go. Thank you. That's not your favorite song?
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved.
Nothing goes down unless we get a like. All right. From here on out, nothing goes down unless we get a like. No. True Belief said DeFi lending is control in the hands of a few. We need more coders. That is true. We do need more coders and developers. It is in control of the hands of the few. Did we see the report on Coinbase owning 2 million Bitcoin? I'm not sure if it was actually, is it them or what they have in custody? I'm not sure. Coinbase and Cario said Coinbase got the early heads up from the SEC. They were in on the soon to be SBF flame out real nice. That's what I mean. Like, again, it's too much stuff that happens by coincidence for everything in crypto to be coincidence. Like, Coinbase literally wanted to start lending. And honestly, I feel for them in a way, because we don't know how these markets would look and how things would have turned out, because you remember this was before everyone found out they weren't worth $100 billion, right? I think at the time they introduced lending, people still thought they were worth $70 to $80 billion, still grossly overvalued. But people didn't understand they were overvalued. I mean, seriously, I talked to like 2 or 3 or 4 institutions at the time who were all in on Coinbase, and I was like, wow, like, I told them I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I was like, it's not worth that much. So the sale has to happen. And it happened. We remember we called that the day before it went public. But I say all that to say, yes, when Coinbase tried to do the lending thing and SEC shut them down, there may be a story to that. Who knows? There may be a story to that. It's crazy. Let's see. What else do we have? PFC Will's going on tracks. I said that in the Discord about Pomp. Bigger story is how is the SEC a creditor for BlockFi? That is a huge story. But I don't want no beef. I mean, it's no other way to say it. I mean, we point out so many inconsistencies, not only with the SEC, with some of the cases that are happened in crypto history. You talk about Charlie Shrim. You talk about Dread Pirates, of course, Ross Ulbricht getting sentenced in New York. It's so many things that have happened in this space that really don't make sense, including regulations and how XRP is being attacked by the SEC. So it's like either we're going to go at all these government agencies that are just doing some crazy corrupt stuff, or we're not. I don't know, but I definitely understand that SEC being a creditor for BlockFi is probably the biggest story out of all of this today. That is very true. Let's see. Gensler was getting yield from FTX on the personal tip. That's why he told Coinbase going to do it. I mean, honestly, FTX might have cause to sue the government. What if they sue the government and say, or Coinbase actually, Coinbase or FTX basically sued the government and said, hey, you guys were, meddling in competition, right? Like you were helping another company. Why did you tell Coinbase they couldn't lend, but FTX was allowed to lend, or whoever else, right? So this is one of those things. Hey, everybody else is calling their lawyer. Why not? Why not call it on the government? Let's see. Nobody else knew, but LeBron knew, and he tried to warn us. True stories. Satoshi Son, what are you talking about? Let's see. FUD trying to take KuCoin down due to interest offers. Truth is, KuCoin is one of the last exchanges without KYC available to folks in the US with VPN. Yeah, so KuCoin is cool, but I remember, I'm not sure if it's still like this, but they were doing something where it was like changing the terms of service, or not terms of service, but amounts you can take out. So just be leery of that. You don't want to put 10, 20, 30 plus K, 100K plus whatever, thinking you about to do some quick trade swaps, whatever. And then they're like, oh, until you actually give us your passport or ID, you're only allowed to take out the equivalent of $2,000 a day type of deal. I can't remember if it was KuCoin or it's KuCoin or one other one I was using. Essentially, that kind of happened. And it wasn't a big deal. I didn't have too much in there, but it did take me some time to bring everything back out. So you want to be careful with that. The good thing is I do think they have like stable coins and at the very least Bitcoin to swap into if you have to stay on one of those platforms like that. And then, of course, never swap off that VPN log on, or they might lock you off. See, Gensler is as close to Armstrong as he is to SBF. It's just that your friend Gensler is actually my friend Gensler, Mr. Bond. You guys are hilarious. I think Pomp is under a gag order from the SEC case. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. Jake said everyone who lost money on BlockFi, you got what you deserve. You had a chance to pull your money when Luna Celsius happened. That is very true. Let's see. Local TX said, when I hear exchange, it has an X in it. It has an ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, so they can't have my Bitcoin as mine. You are hilarious. The difference is BitConnect has a really cool audio clip. Oh, the difference between BitConnect and some of these other things out here. Let's see. Local TX said, I'm dropping facts. It's like being the person at the beginning of the project, at the design phase where all the real work is done. Then new people show up and act like they did the work. Yeah, that's a lot of that's what's happening right now, people. Not even like they did the work, but they're just like, not even they did the work. They're just literally coming in like, look, that design everybody's been talking about and working on all these years. Don't go with that one. This new design that just came out 6 weeks ago, though, I swear by it. It's great. And it's like, that's where the problem is at. Let's see. Okay, Crypto Commandments. I want to make sure I say this. Pomp told folks to do your own research. That said a lot of folks got hurt by BlockFi. So I think he was saying that Pomp told a lot of people to do their own research. If that's fair, then that is fair there. Let's see. Chris Minka said, I'm a Bitcoin hater OG from 2010. Back from the gold versus Bitcoin days. Hilarious. I learned a lot that time. That's why I know King and Zay know their shit. So really quick before I go into the next few stories, because I don't want to turn this into a monologue. That's what I mean by like, people, you all really don't understand how many businesses in Los Angeles have Bitcoin ATMs or Bitcoin something or a 7 or something because of Bitcoin's day being on foot, walking into places, going to places he always goes, and introducing the gospel. Same here. It's been so many places. It's funny when you was talking about the gold versus Bitcoin days. 2016, 2017, I'm in LA going to pawn shops around the place, trying to figure out who wants to start doing Bitcoin for gold and all this other stuff. And they were not having it, people. All right. But the point is, you know how many knows got how many pawn shops I've been through in LA. I know where they're at. I've talked to them. I understand all this X, Y, and Z. or I'm trying to get them on Bitcoin. They're just like old school, like, nah, I'll just go. And I'm literally having the debates with pawn shop owners, trying to get them on Bitcoin and stuff. So I get you, Chris Minka. I'm with you. And that's my point right there. It's like all this is going on. We're trying to show people like this is where you need to be, at least center yourself at, especially because of the technology and the ethos. And then you have FTX, Terra Luna, people getting tattoos of Terra Luna, supposedly being the experts in the space. Like, this is madness. This is crazy, but it is what it is. You got to love it. The movie of Bitcoin and crypto is going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. All right, Silvergate is in the news. Listen, I hope Silvergate's doing all right. Unfortunately, some of the good guys might go down, some of the bad guys in this uh, bear market. But Silvergate has been around. They've been doing a great job. I know they did, curtail back from offering banking stuff to banking business to retail investors, but that was mostly because of the regulatory environment around it. But Silvergate Bank is in the news. They've been probably one of the longest crypto banks out there. I think Gemini banks them as well. It's a few other companies, but Silvergate Capital has been quick to distance itself from the now bankrupt crypto lender BlockFi. That's right. Institutional crypto services provider Silvergate Capital has confirmed its minimal exposure to the embattled BlockFi crypto lending firm. I cannot speak today. On November 28th, Silvergate announced that its deposit relationship with BlockFi is limited to less than $20 million of its total deposits from all digital asset customers. Those deposits totaled $13.2 billion in Q3, according to the firm's revenue report. Shout out to Silvergate. Goodness gracious. I didn't know you all came up like that. It added that BlockFi was not a custodian for its Bitcoin collateralized leveraged loans, and the firm has no investments in BlockFi. Hey, shout out to Silvergate Bank. I didn't even know you all were on it like that yet with the collateralized leverage loans. Shout out to Silvergate Bank, because there's been so many banks and institutions I actually tried to get them to do collateralized loans and stuff, and they just weren't with it. It's just too early. I understand. I mean, but way to go out there on the edge and see what awaits. But looks like to quell investors' jitter, Silvergate CEO Alan Lane said, as the digital asset industry continues to transform, I want to reiterate that Silvergate's platform was purpose built to manage stress and volatility. And again, I hope that this is true, because I'm a fan of Silvergate. I haven't done any business with them, but been a fan of how they operate in this space so far. It looks like on November 29th, technical analysis and Swiss investor Walter Bloomberg told his 622,000 Twitter followers Silvergate Capital said to have lent money to BlockFi, but failed to provide any evidence. So, not sure what's going on with that. But again, Silvergate is saying, hey, we're good to go. Even if we weren't good to go with this specific relationship, this is $20 million from a $13.2 billion revenue. So hopefully everything's good over at Silvergate. But we had to report on that just in case you all have relationships with them. And of course, I'm not sharing the screen the entire time. Just in case you all have relationships with them. I know some people we have said they should look into Silvergate if they're doing Bitcoin business, especially those that are going into those 6 figures plus. So make sure you're checking out your accounts there at Silvergate. Things are fine. And if you need to do a quick audit on them, make sure you do it as well. All right. Compound Finance is in the news. That's right. Compound Finance to impose lending caps in light of failed Aave exploit. CDFI somewhat, but I wanted to point this out because this is self-regulation. This is self-regulation, right? Aave had to impose some caps on some stuff the other day on tokens they deemed that weren't liquid enough. And it looks like Compound is doing as well. You see that, people? It didn't take a court order and regulations and lawyers and taxpayer money. It didn't take that. It took people who actually knew what they were doing to look at what's happening right now and say, we might need to scale back on this. A vote took place and it happened. That's right. Some illiquid altcoins will have their borrow limit reduced by upward of 99%. So it's officially taking them off the platform without taking them off the platform. Users of decentralized finance lending platform Compound Finance have passed a proposal to restrict the maximum borrowing of 10 tokens on the protocol. The proposal put forth by financial modeling firm Gauntlet passed November 28 by majority vote, although the total turnout amounted to less than 7% of the comp tokens in circulation. What's crazy about this stuff, people, is again, last Sunday we were just covering DeFi and we're looking at some of these platforms and stuff, right? And this is the interesting thing about this space. everything moves so fast. It just moves so fast. Things are here, then they're gone. I already said, I can't wait to see what the next fad or trend is that we probably won't get until the end of 2023, if not around 2024 once the halving comes. But there's going to be new updates, new things that are going to happen to protocols. Projects are going to merge. Good things are going to happen. I can't wait. So it's unfortunate to see these things happening, but these are just the growing pains of the market. But what I want to key in on are the actual tokens that they actually limited. Tokens such as Uniswap and Comp had their borrow limit slashed from 11.25 million and 150,000 to 550,000 and 18,000 respectively. Other less liquid altcoins on Compound were also affected, such as Yearn Finance, which had his borrow cap reduced from 1,500 to just 20. Wrap Bitcoin, which previously had no borrow limit on Compound, has been slapped with a lending ceiling of 1,250. So it looks like this proposal 135 has passed a quorum and has set the borrow caps for 10 Compound version 2 markets that will be applied in 2 days. So it was a type of a vote, I guess. But what's really interesting again is that if they're saying these tokens are liquid, are they not liquid just on that platform, or are there overall liquidity issues throughout markets with those specific tokens? That's something I'll be more interested in seeing. Now, I would assume it's probably platform related, but you never know. So I think this, I mean, of course, it's not even I think these are all the effects of we could say FTX. These are all the effects of Terra Luna. I mean, Terra, Celsius, FTX, like honestly, these are all the effects of people wanting to get rich quick, basically, by and large. But this is crazy. It looks like that on November 22nd it was revealed that Mango Markets hacker Avram Einsberg attempted to exploit the protocol by shorting high amounts of Curve, which was a liquid token on Aave at the time, forcing the protocol to liquidate the position at a loss due to significant slippage. However, it turned out that the slippage was far less than expected, and Eisenberg reportedly lost an estimated $10 million in an attack after a CRV short squeeze. Gauntlet then proposed to freeze a series of tokens on Aave version 2 that may be at a risk of exploit due to liquidity. And that's essentially what happened the other day. So I guess Compound wanted to follow as well. And again, if you don't understand that paragraph, you definitely need to be in the classes, because we literally just covered a lot of this basic stuff like slippage, liquidity, and some of these different platforms within the last week. So I just want to share that. This is crazy news. Couple last stories to cover. Before we do, I want to go back to the comments, see what you all are saying. Let's see. If they are called securities, will you have to go to the stock market in order to get crypto? Woo! That will be interesting, because if you are, if that is the case, then they wouldn't need to over-regulate or create a whole new slew of regulations. They can just say you're now a security and you're in our market. You're going to do what we are doing. Let's see. Jake said Ava Lend was supposed to be a small loans for poor folks in third world and second world countries. They got greedy, and look at them now. That's how a lot of these platforms actually like. I feel like that's the trajectory of them, unfortunately. They start off, many of them do start off like, we're servicing small communities. And if you do that, it works. It honestly does work so well. And if you grow organically, i.e., people understand why you're servicing small communities, and just happens to get larger where you're servicing large communities, but they're saying, hey, this is good tech, this stuff works, then so be it. But if it's just a money play where it's like, oh, this worked on a small community, let's just scale it to make more money and have our own tokens and stuff, that's where the issue's coming up. So I agree with you. There's been a few projects like that, like again, on the small scale, they're doing great, and that's all they really needed, but they just wanted to grow very fast and make a lot of money. And at times like this, again, the tide goes down. You see who's not wearing any pants. Let's see. Looking at a couple more comments. LIM said, I must say, y'all been beating in our heads for years to get your coins off those exchanges. Let's see. Pomp, oh, well, wow. Just informed you, said Pomp removed Bitcoin from his profile bio once the bear market started. He's a low-key snake too, LOL. I hope that isn't true. Not a grifter. Say it ain't so. That's how I feel about a lot of people who are coming here with other professions, especially with some of their rhetoric. I'm like, y'all not even coming here for the tech. Like, A great example of somebody who did come here the right way was Draper. Draper was like, look, yeah, I am coming here with money. I'm a billionaire. I'm gonna buy up a bunch of Bitcoin and I'm gonna have a bunch of platforms and I'm gonna run stuff. And you know what else he's doing with that? Sponsoring a ton of developers in DeFi projects, and he's wearing Bitcoin ties, and he's speaking the gospel of decentralization. Everybody doesn't need to know everyone's business to have their hands in everything, and we can let the technology work itself out. That's the right way to do it, right? So he's not on there screaming like, "Oh, I mean," because as a billionaire, he could have easily came with the same amount of money he put into Bitcoin. He could have put into whatever created whatever project he wanted to do, spent $100 million on marketing, and been the next FTX and got everybody money and got out the top. So I definitely appreciate people like that as well. All right. I want to check this out. Last couple of articles. Meta was fined 265 million euros for allowing scrapers to steal Facebook's centralized user data. Blockchain and Web3 companies are attempting to prevent leaks like these in the future by creating alternative login processes and distributing necessary data collection in a highly decentralized way. We're not going to go all the way through this. I just want to point out that the Irish Data Protection Commission, the DPC, announced on November 28th that it fined Facebook developer Meta 265 million euros or 274.8 million American dollars for a breach of the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. Specifically, the commission stated that it had fined Meta for failing to design Facebook in such a way that would protect users from data breaches. All right. It looks like the data breach was first discovered when a TechCrunch report revealed that I knew I wasn't sharing this article. There it is. That hundreds of where are we at? When TechCrunch report revealed that hundreds of millions of Facebook users' phone numbers were listed in a publicly accessible database online. Although the database was later taken down by the web host, its existence revealed that Facebook's data had been breached. In April 2021, they began their investigation to DPC. They found that Facebook did or Meta did post a statement about the breach, and they claim an attacker had used its contact importer tool to spam the server with phone numbers to see which ones have Facebook accounts associated with them. Oh my goodness. Pat, listen, people, I don't care. Pat myself on the back. Class, warriors who are in the class, literally, what do we just talk about yesterday when we were talking cybersecurity and DDoS attacks and all that other stuff as well? Spamming a server with phone numbers to see which one had the accounts associated with them. That's how you kind of do it. You overload the server essentially until it kind of cracks and you can find it. I don't know. I'm not going to get too technical, but you get the point. Each time the attacker got a response, they were able to gain the personal details of the user and match these details up with the user's phone number. So they were attacked. All that got out. My issue with this is, again, who, like, out of all those people, out of all those phone numbers, I'm sure one's an American citizen. So does the U.S. get to fine them 200 something million as well? Does Russia get to fine them 200 something million as well? Does China get to fine them 200 something? Like, who do they have to listen to? Or do they just listen to who the U.S. is allies with and not who we beefing with? And I'm only bringing up this point because this is kind of becoming a scary thing for private companies. Like, what is this? What's the signal of this to new tech companies? If you get hacked, we're going to fine you like a ton of money. So you're taking a double loss. Unless Facebook set it up where, and I think the investigation would show this, and I encourage these investigations, unless it's shown to where it was like this was intentionally done by the company to sell this on the dark web and make more money, which they're making so much. I'm not understanding why they would put their business at risk, right? Any business. But unless there's some nefarious activity going on, this is crazy. You are literally like, everyone can be hacked. What aren't they getting? Um, did we sue the credit card company here in the United States, right? We're not suing Equifax. We're not suing some of these places who've had our social security numbers hacked and stuff. So it's crazy to go after a private business. Again, I think this is more just extortion. I think it's something we need to keep our eye on, especially as blockchain and Web3 companies. They're making that specific for a reason. It's because they know they got the bag, right? That's kind of what's happening right now. It's like, look, y'all in the metaverse, huh? That's technology. Oh, y'all got them expensive headphones too. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I'm gonna need 200 million up off you. It's just like, what's going on here? I mean, I know what's going on, but what's going on here?
No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
I just want to know who all we got to pay. Okay. All right. Last but not least, got to cover this. I saw people ask about this yesterday. And again, I didn't cover it because I was on the side of the fence thinking that it wasn't that big of a deal. But jokes about wrapped Ethereum DepEg caused brief panic on Twitter. While the crypto community joked about the wrapped Ethereum peg, Ethereum's price fell by over 4% during the weekend. Crypto influencers started a joke about wrapped Ethereum losing its peg, becoming insolvent over the weekend, causing a brief panic within the community. Wrapped Ethereum, of course, is essentially a way to use Ethereum on its own blockchain for smart contracts. It's the ERC20 token, okay? Therefore, it's backed by each other. Or one Ethereum is one wrapped Ethereum. So in order for that to lose its peg, Ethereum would as well. A lot of people got in on this joke, a lot of popular Twitter users, as well as Vitalik Buterin himself. Personally, I'm more surprised that no one has yet noticed how wrapped Ethereum and WEF sound so similar. Use wrapped Ethereum, eat the bugs. So a lot of people were saying this, and it's pretty funny to some people. And even people on our channel was asked. I saw yesterday, people was like, "What's going on with wrapped Ethereum?" So had to cover this today really quick. Tron founder Justin Sun actually came out. Oh no, he was still joking with it too. So he's joking with it too. But a few different users came out and said this is not funny because people who don't know the joke or get the joke, which is the majority, are actually thinking something's about to happen with wrapped Ethereum and Ethereum, which we actually saw in a couple comments yesterday. This Twitter user says there are a lot of funny jokes today about wrapped Ether crashing or being insolvent. Wrapped Ether is not in trouble, and I want to explain the joke for those who may have been worried seeing the tweets today. The wrapped ETH jokes today play on the fact that wrapped ETH is an ERC20 token that is impossible to go insolvent, besides an unlikely contract flaw, and will always be backed 1-to-1 by the Ether deposited by you. So while the crypto community joked about the wrapped Ethereum peg, Ethereum's price did fall by 4% over the weekend, it looks like. So a few people chimed in, even Richard Hart said that, hey, there's a joke going around about wrapped Ethereum. Depending from Ethereum, all the big names are playing with it, including Vitalik. I am not, because I don't think joking about things that could get the silliest of users wrecked is funny. Thus, my jokes suck a bit more but save more lives. So Richard doing his normal marketing stuff. And this last one saying, please be aware, it may not be obvious to outsiders that's completely different from bridge assets, and there's literally almost zero risk. I think it would be better to mark these more clearly as jokes. And this is my thing with this. I fully agree. This is the immaturity in the market. It is what it is. Love it or hate it. Like, this is the immaturity in the market. People, Elon Musk took one toke of cannabis and their stock market and Tesla stock market price dropped. Like, middle America is real. Okay. So yes, making it, like, especially in a bear market when companies are falling left and right, to make a joke about wrapped Ethereum messing up or depegging and stuff. Again, when people were saying it yesterday and stuff, I was just like, it's nothing wrong. But I didn't realize how deep it got and how many people actually commented on that also. So yeah, it's nothing. It was a non-starter there, but immaturity in the market. It's hilarious. Just informing you, said the irony of Richard's tweet, LMAO. I wanted to see who's going to catch it. Hilarious. Let's see. What else do we have? Other than that, that's the show for the day for the most part. Bitcoin's Day will be back tomorrow. Let's see. Okay, Satoshi Slim. I'm going to put the link up for the master classes today. Give me a few hours on that, and that will be finished. Also, the Bitcoin conference links are going up today. Pardon the delay on that. Those conference links going up today. They will also be on our Twitter, so look out for that. If you want to go to Bitcoin conference next year in Miami, we're going to have those links up as well. Other than that, that is the show for today. Make sure you smash that like and share. Again, if you are interested in these classes where we literally cover all this stuff, or the masterclass, make sure you check out coaching.thegentlemanCrypto.com or thegentlemanCrypto.com and check out that masterclass. Smash that like and share, and we will see you all tomorrow with some